It's time to Ask Dr. Maddow. Rachel Maddow is a doctor, just not that kind of doctor.
That big man movie voice means it's time for Ask Dr. Maddow, the segment where we answer those questions you are just too lazy to Google yourself. So if you have a question for Dr. Rachel Maddow, you can give us a call at 212-871-8173. Dr. Maddow, today's question comes from Margaret.
This is Margaret from San Marcos, Texas. I listen to you via podcast. My question is, where did the expression winning something hands down comes from? As you said, I'm just too lazy to Google it myself. Thanks for all you do, Rachel. Vigilance.
Oh, thanks, Margaret. Vigilance to you as well. I would be, I have a hard time spelling vigilance. You know how there's some words that you just eat, even if you're a real good speller, there's things that I have a hard time spelling vigilance, which means every time I say it, I feel embarrassed because I think in terms of print rather than thinking in terms of sounds. So it makes me embarrassed to even say the word. That's why I don't say it as much. Kent was very good at spelling it. That's why he said it all the time. Anyway, but I digress. Margaret, thank you very much for the question. The answer is surprisingly simple and surprisingly sort of Western. I sort of feel like everything that we've been citing recently in terms of the origins of phrases and words is all from 12th century classical Arabic or whatever. In this case, not so much. In this case, it's actually pretty simple. The phrase dates back to the 1860s, and it comes from horse racing. I know nothing about horse racing. In fact, the one thing that I have in common with George W. Bush is I'm actively afraid of horses. And so not only know nothing about racing, but won't get anywhere near them to find out. But in order to make the horse, one of the ways you make the horse go fast, or one of the things that is happening if you are a jockey and you are in the act of making the horse go fast, is that you have you're holding the reins tightly. If you are so far ahead in the race that you can allow the reins to go slack, that is, you can drop your hands and let the reins go slack, that means you are winning hands down, which means you are winning easily. I will say before looking this up, before working on this, I thought that it was, I thought it was like for boxing. Like I was thinking about Muhammad Ali, like putting his hands down and like taunting his opponents and dancing around the ring, putting his hands down and then still winning. Yeah, never mind.
That's so much cooler, your answer.
I don't know. Well, if you think like if it's not going to be a knockout, it's going to be decided on points, and you're so far ahead that you know that you're going to win on points, and you can just stand there and like not let the other guy hit you and just taunt him. You know, I just thought I saw When We Were Kings again recently. That's really what that's all about.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maddow. Thank you, Margaret. If you have a question for Dr. Rachel Maddow, you can give us a call at 212-871-8173.
Thank you very much, Vanessa. Thank you very much, Margaret. Today's Burying the Lead story is I realized that I spent roughly half the show so far complaining about what John McCain is getting away with in the press. Not only the fact that he is running an attack ad against Barack Obama that is demonstrably, obviously, and thoroughly false and is getting away with that. And the way it's being described is like, oh, yeah, John McCain's attacking Barack Obama. Let's ask for a response from the Obama campaign. Like that's masquerading as journalism around John McCain's false ad right now. Like there is a responsibility when somebody says something that is not true to say, John McCain's saying something that isn't true. Now let's get a response from the Obama campaign. I'm frustrated about that. I'm frustrated about the way in general that he is getting such a pass from the press. They're willing to correct him or round up his flubs rather than reporting on them or jumping on him about them. But then also when he says outrageous things, when he lets fly something that seems kind of newsworthy, it just drifts into the ether. And so with the ABC interview yesterday with George Stephanopoulos, we get news from John McCain that that he didn't use the word timetable on Friday, when in fact he did use the word timetable on Friday. We also get word, and this hasn't shown up anywhere, that he's now changed his mind and is anti-affirmative action. That was always like one of the maverick Republican things about John McCain, that he was for affirmative action. Now he says that he is in support of an Arizona ballot measure that would ban it. Anybody? Anybody running for president? Anybody want to cover this guy? Anyone? It's the Rachel Maddow Show. We'll be right back.